Yeah, I'm afraid it is so simple.
Nice.
Yeah. But it is also in the Buddhist tradition. No, we can acknowledge that there is temporary methods we can apply, which make it easier to do nothing and to just use awareness or allowing as a method. So, for example, with fixations, a Buddhist method is temporary to take a respectful distance from what you're fixated about. So that's what a monk, for example, does. It's a temporary method of taking you away from the fixations. Not because they are evil or because we should be afraid of the things we are fixated about, but just to acknowledging it just gets me into trouble if I'm, for example, fixated on alcohol to go to a pub. So then you use it's a practice of kind of a respectful distance, not making the pub the evil, and with the motivation to return to the pub because there's people to save. But you take a respectful distance, yeah. And so there's other like temporary methods which we use, and yeah. So here the releasing, and we can really also, it's something we can. Like check up in our own experience, that when we are in a constricted emotional state, that by giving space to it, by allowing, by breathing into it, maybe with the help of another person. Like that actually happens if you talk with the person who's kind, who listens to you, then, and a person who does not give advice, but who just gives the yeah, I can understand, and then you bring that constricted emotion into that space, and it releases. It's just like and then you cry and things start to move, and then. And then you can even see how it's what you added in your in your stories, in your construction, and so it is something we can actually check up in our own experience. It's not something we just need to believe. Any more thoughts about this? it's very nice if we come into these moments where silence arises, and if we allow ourselves to enjoy that without feeling, or something needs to happen, like something, like something needs to save the moment by. It's beautiful to experience these different kinds of silence, like a silence which arises naturally by just there's nothing to think about. So, but then there's also a silence which is like a pressure cooker. Like there is not really silence, but you feel like it's stupid what I want to say, or I'm not, you're afraid, or you're afraid to share something. And I'm not saying that is wrong. It's just that's natural, and we all do it. But it's good to get a sense of these different kinds of silence. Yes.
I have a question about this fixation thing. And it's because sometimes I get a bit confused about this. I understand this circle that we don't have to run away from the problems and always seek happiness, but isn't it okay to enjoy the peaceful moments and happiness and somehow seek? Isn't it possible to seek happiness without being fixated? You understand?
Yes, yes.
Because sometimes I get a bit confused, like, am I not supposed to be happy about the happy moments also?
Yeah. Yes, right. That's a dilemma. And it's
because I guess you can accept and be happy about the good times and about the bad times.
So this way of being points to our capacity to enjoy the good things deeper, easygoing, relaxed. Just wow, and they are even more fantastic because they pass, and you know that they will pass. Yeah. So you broaden your capacity to hold more and more happiness without being afraid of that happiness, of that bliss, which is acknowledged very often in our daily life, that happiness, that bliss, that beauty around us. And then, on the other hand, you also broaden your capacity to be easygoing and relaxed with the pain. It's not that you like the pain. It's not that you're happy with the pain. Of course, you don't want the pain, yeah? But we can broaden that capacity to be more a container of that, a bigger container of that, without being thrown out of balance. So and that goes to the both spectrum, both sides of the spectrum of the pain pressure cycle. Yeah. And sometimes the teachings on non-attachment in some spiritual traditions, they then lead to the practice of rejecting pleasure and making it a religious value, to reject pleasure or to be afraid of pleasure. There's a lot of Buddhists running around, Western Buddhists who, they feel guilty when they enjoy, or they're afraid of it. Oh, I'm attached. Yeah, I'm attached. I shouldn't be attached. And then we get attached. We will continue to get attached until we I don't know when, but so if we notice it, if we are aware of it, that releases the energy. And it is definitely something we notice when you have, for example, a formal practice, sitting practice. It is actually something which you can see how it can grow your capacity to enjoy simple things more. It happens quite quickly in mindfulness practice that people, they go for a weekend retreat and suddenly they, it feels like the world becomes alive, the colors and the nature and the sky and the food, like people, they enjoy very much the food in retreats. And, yeah. But also what we discover is that this kind of, our whining and, this is not good enough, and, that also that can reduce by learning that I can be okay by having a headache or like a pain in the right knee, or so it is something we can observe, and that this can be broadened, that we can become more easygoing, knowing that we will continue to come to our limits.